And so I put my hands behind my back and let him think, come eat. He didn't know it was going to be a buffet, though. He thought it was going to be a 3-piece. Now you're getting the whole MGM Grand Buffet to the face, man.
First of all, what an incredible night UFC 239 was. From top to bottom, the fight card was stacked, with Luke Rockhold making his light heavyweight debut to the grudge match between Ben Askren and Jorge Masvidal. Not only that, 2 championship fights to top it off. This was guaranteed to be a fun night of fights. So for this video, we'll be going over exactly what happened and the results of each of those fights. Now, with that said, let's take a look at how UFC 239 went down. So, the first fight in the main card featured Michael Chiesa vs Thiago Sanchez in the 170-pound division. In that fight, Michael Chiesa completely outclassed Thiago Sanchez from round 1 to round 3, and even looked like he was close to securing a finish on multiple occasions. Although Thiago Sanchez stayed resilient and was able to survive, he was severely outmatched throughout the fight. All in all, it was a dominant and impressive performance from Michael Chiesa, who walked away with a unanimous decision win. Now, hopefully, Chiesa's next opponent will be someone who is ranked in the top 10. The next fight saw former middleweight champion Luke Rockhold make his light heavyweight debut against the always dangerous Jan Blachowicz. This was an interesting matchup considering Luke Rockhold normally cuts a massive amount of weight to make 185 pounds. So many of us were interested to see how he'd fare in a much healthier weight class. Although there was a strong offense at the start of round 1 from Rockhold, he was viciously knocked out in round 2, suffering a broken jaw in the process. With his last 3 losses coming by way of knockout, Dana White gave his opinion, saying perhaps it's time for Rockhold to hang up the gloves.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I think Luke Rockhold should talk about hanging it up. You know, he broke his jaw tonight. So that's a second broken jaw. He's been knocked out viciously a few times here. I'd like to see him hang it up.
Now, here's a fight that many of us were most interested in. The third fight on the main card saw the undefeated Ben Askren take on Jorge Masvidal in what many people were looking at as the #1 contender fight. Ever since entering the UFC, Ben Askren has talked a big game and has called out virtually everyone inside his weight class. Although he backed the talk in his fight against Robbie Lawler, the win was controversial. So this next fight was an important one for Ben. Leading up to this fight, there were a lot of heated moments and trash talk between these two. So naturally, it was one of the most anticipated matchups on the card. The moment the fight started, Jorge Masvidal sprinted towards the center of the octagon, knocking out Ben Askren in only 5 seconds with a flying knee, in turn setting the record for the fastest knockout win in the UFC. And what a brutal finish it was.
You guys are welcome for ending that dude.
This was a massive blow for Ben Askren, and officially marks his first professional loss in MMA. But the question remains, has Jorge done enough to earn a title shot? I guess only time will tell. Moving on, we had Amanda Nunes defending her title in the co-main event against the former bantamweight champion Holly Holm. This was an intriguing matchup on paper, given Holly's elusiveness and ability to evade her opponents. Unfortunately for her, she wasn't able to keep this up with Amanda Nunes, who finished her with the same kick that she has made a career out of, knocking her out with a vicious head kick roughly 4 minutes into round 1 to defend her title. And at 37 years old, this may have been Holly Holm's last chance to fight for a title. So we'll have to wait and see where she goes from here. For now, the only question that remains is who is left to challenge Amanda Nunes. Now that leads us on nicely to the main event, which featured Jon Jones defending his light heavyweight title against the #2 ranked Thiago Santos. With the majority of Thiago's wins coming by way of knockout, it was clear that he was coming into this fight with a massive power advantage. Surprisingly though, he fought a rather strategic fight with Jon Jones, firing off some hard leg kicks early on, which proved to be rather effective. Unfortunately, he injured his leg while throwing one of his kicks, causing him to slow down on his offense. Meanwhile, Jon Jones continued to advance, picking Santos apart with body kicks and elbows. Although it wasn't his flashiest fight, Jon Jones did enough to earn a split decision victory over Santos to retain his title. So there's your recap of everything that happened at UFC 239. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Apart from that, thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next video.
Never Ever have a doubt, do you like me now? Am I good enough now? Should I get more loud? Till you hear the fucking sound? Oh no, I'm losing my shit again, having to fit again. Man, I'm forgetting when I used to have some friends. I used to play pretend, we all grow up and then hating my phone and trends. I'm about to blow my head, nobody knows I'm dead. Fear I'm a ghost instead, think that I'm close, I get straight comatose in bed. Try to go slow with breath, breathe out my nose and head. Heart doesn't go the trend, faster it goes.